How about now? Is it working? There's like a 10-second delay. There it goes. Now it's working. Sound's working. Why would that change? Was that
shouldn't change?
The thing that kept popping up?
Oh. That was the reason we had the issue.
What did you just knock over? Don't worry about it. It's all good.
Fine here. That was the issue with the Twitch stream originally too, or the one for Extra Life.
So it's the so it was when the computer was reset.
I think so, yeah.
Thanks, Dave. So everybody can. Yeah, I'll just turn my audio down. Right about here is where it usually is. Wow, that's obnoxious. So that moment when you you update everything and reset the computer and like double check everything before the show, and then something still managed to break itself. So that was sweet. So yeah, welcome to the weekly live stream for Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms. My name is Dylan, and I play an Aasimar cleric that nearly died during my last D&D session through no fault of mine, mostly because the DM rolled a whole lot of crits back to back to back to back, and that whole pack mentality stuff is just awesome. So first things first. Thanks to Wizards of the Coast and Dungeons and Dragons for graciously allowing us the use of their Twitch, and also for the incredible hard work they do. Like, it's really humbling to get a chance to work with them. They care a lot about this, and they totally kick ass. Yeah, John, Chris, Greg, Part, Pelham, Trevor, you guys are awesome. I'm sure some of you may even be on Christmas break by now, but yes, thank you for allowing us to be here. I just wanted to give a few shout outs to some of the people in our stream. Thantanos, Axis of Anarchy, one of our Discord moderators, Daylight Asunder, Aelric71, Super Duper the Pooper, which is a wonderful name, Baron Stromgard, Eli Darkheart, Coffee Sip, I Am the Matrix, Night Razor. God, there's so many of you. Thank you. Anyways, thank you for joining us. And welcome, and that was a really fun issue to start the stream with, so I'm really stoked about that. It's all uphill from here. Silisa, hello. Yes, Carlo Boji, we do have a Discord. It's discord.gg/idlechampions. So yeah, feel free to join us. We tend to, it seems like we get a small influx of people every time there's a stream, but yeah, it's a mostly really helpful community when we're not busy bitching about net neutrality, like is what's going on today. So for the few of you who have not been here before, we do a few giveaways over the course of our stream, and the way that, if you don't know the drill, this is how we do it. A raffle will be opened by the Codename Entertainment account, and then in order to enter that raffle, you just type in !raffle to enter, and then you're included in the draw. And then once the winner is announced, the Codename account, helmed by none other than our community manager Erica, will send you a whisper to try and to give you details on how to receive your prize. And you will need to sign up every time there's a draw, so yeah, it kind of blows up chat a little bit, and we haven't quite figured out the best way to do that, to deal with that. But yeah, it's that's how we do it. We will probably be doing one in a little while, and we'll also be revealing our stream code in the corner there. Looking at the wrong camera, pretty shortly. So yes, welcome to the show. We have a few things to go over today, including announcing the winner of our Gleam contest, and or winners, I should say. Talk a little bit about Yogscast and Twitch Plays Idle Champions, and of course the official Discord, and maybe even a little bit more of a recap of our Extra Life 2017, because you can still donate to our Extra Life. It's the stream was done 2 weekends ago now, but you can still donate and support and earn prizes, depending on which one of the team members for Codename you support. So cool. I promised that I would do a wise endeavor on stream the other day on the Discord, and luckily for me, it has since been nerfed. We paid attention to the community feedback, and we're paying attention to how many people were completing it. And Justin decided to pull out the Nerf bat and knock it down a few notches so that it's doable. So that's lucky for me because I don't have to embarrass myself on stream. Hello, Lauren, Obo Crazy, welcome. But yeah, I said I'd do it, so yeah, I will pull up. I'll pull up the game and start a wise endeavor. So what am I doing right now? Oh, this is just free play. Feels like a bit of a waste to reset this now, but let's do it. Yeah, Meat Bomb liked it at 150. Good. Yeah, I'm glad that worked out for you. I don't know why Windows 10 is doing notifications, but I'm glad that I'm sure everybody can hear that. God, freaking Windows. Yeah, Axis. That's apparently how that played out. Well, we were paying attention to the numbers, seeing how many people were completing it and how much of a struggle it was, and it was tough. Yeah, that's like the rest of my candles, isn't it? All right, I haven't. So we'll see how this is. At least I can. Oh God, that's rough. Probably a little unfair that I have all the champions though, since some people do not. I'm going to assume that I'm going to want Gromma to tank. Actually, maybe just start. I'll just do this. Virgin Mary zombie attack. Any formation tips for newbies around the 3E04 gold range? My advancement has been super slow the past day. I suppose the biggest thing is like pushing to as far as you can, and then resetting. Like it's kind of your progress is always going to reach a certain point and slow down, so you want to make sure that you are resetting frequently enough that you are increasing the amount that you can earn. And you kind of want to keep doing that until you start maxing out the level on all of your champions. And once you get to around that range, somebody who is better at math than I can give you a better idea of exactly what that number is. But once you are reaching the point where you are hitting your wall after maxing out all of your champions, then you want to start spending the favor on blessings and global blessings. Ideally, the first two global blessings, each from the Kellenbor blessings and the Torn's blessings for the Grand Tour of the Realms and Tomb of Annihilation adventures. Once you get the first two global blessings from each of those, it makes a pretty significant difference for powering through everything. So there's a couple things I want to kind of go over. We did a Q&A on Reddit yesterday during the day, and I'd like to go over some of the stuff that we covered just because it's nice to keep everybody on the same page, more or less, and then we end up not repeating ourselves quite as frequently, but also it helps to keep everybody on the same page so that, you know, just in case there might be some confusion. Now, the first question that shows up on the Reddit Q&A from yesterday is from Wistix, who is our volunteer moderator of the Reddit, our subreddit, and it's a very detailed math-related question, so I think I'm actually going to wait until Justin shows up in an hour, 40 minutes, for the stream in order to start talking about that, just because he can give that succinct answer that makes a lot more sense to everybody than I can. So we have a few other questions. You know, one was asking whether or not we were at liberty to discuss what the Codename Entertainment team is divided into doing while working on Idle Champions. Happy RBX was curious to know, for instance, how many of the team are focused on making events, and how many of them are focused on balancing or improving the base game, you know, etc. Just asking him for more details. And they were also asking about how close our contact with Wizards of the Coast is. Like, do we have like a red telephone that you can use to call them in case of an emergency or something along those lines? And I can't explain everything, but I can say that, you know, yesterday when I did it, and I think today as well, there are 13 people currently working on Idle Champions in some form or another. That's a half dozen artists, and a half dozen developers, each working on everything from upcoming content to support tickets to fixes, and then a couple of us working on like marketing, community related things. So we're a relatively small team. There are 18 people in the office at Codename, managing 3 games. So yeah. If you're not familiar, you can look up Crusaders of the Lost Idols and Bushwhacker 2, which are other 2 live service games right now. Let's see. Another user, one of our newer users, DrewBud269 on Reddit, mentioned that one of their friends had brought them on board as part of the Refer a Friend, and they were wondering, since they were wondering whether or not they were SOL because they were not able to complete the Refer a Friend and get a shiny item. And this is a question that I ran past Justin, just for clarification. But it's like that feeling we're looking to solve it. We don't have a solution to that yet, but it's a problem that we recognize that we are looking at. Now Garawar, who I believe is here, yes, yeah, I can see you in chat, Garawar. Welcome. Asked a question about unlocking champions and how you get gear for them, and I was talking it over with Justin yesterday, and we don't have a perfect answer for it, because I believe that it might be a case of the intended design is not necessarily how we have it working right now or something. But so here goes. Garawar. Garawar mentioned that if as a new player you have yet to get to the point where you unlock a certain champion, can you still earn gear for them? Because Garawar is under the impression that gear simply drops for every champion and it's random. However, some comments from others make it seem like that's not the case. And just as an example, I believe it was Silisa who was mentioning that they had never unlocked Archon and therefore had never received any Archon loot, which is a situation that I can say that also happened to me. Now, I believe the intended design, or certainly what Justin mentioned to me yesterday, was that you need to have unlocked the seat, like the slot for a champion occupies, in order to have gear drop for them. So if you've unlocked up to Delana, then unlock Hitch, you will be able to get Hitch gear. So you need to have reached that point. And I think that Archon might exist in a spot where he is, if you've never unlocked him, but you haven't also haven't unlocked up to him, you're not getting gear for him. So that doesn't quite sound right, and it's something that we're going to have to look at, I think. Alrighty, so another user was asking if we are intending to change the in-game graphic for the mouse, because it just looks like the regular old mouse, and we might. Oh, okay. So I got a question for the chat, because without thinking about it too much, who am I buffing with my bond? This is wisdom based, right? So human? Is it human? Maybe I'll just wait on that one until I have some more characters. Humans. Servi humans. All right, humans it is. Just gonna level these people up because I hate looking at them not leveled up. It's just when you look at it and you could click more levels. It's like you want more levels. We all want more levels. Let's level it up. Anybody else finding they use Ashara for a main DPS now that Ashara's DPS is so good? I do. I'm digging it. Digging the Arakakra. All right, so let's see. Shade Meadows, one of our community members who produces a lot of really awesome fan art, asked a couple questions. One was whether or not we are preparing something special for New Year's, which I answered a sort of yes, without spoiling anything. And then the other question that Shade Meadows asked was whether or not every unlockable character in the future, as in future characters for the game, be from something that's known, like from D&D games or video games, etc. Will we get original characters? And I can't spoil anything about what's coming up, but I can say that, as some have no doubt noticed, there is a mix of original and lore characters already in the game. So that's what I can say. And then moving on from there, let's see, what else do we have for questions? We had a few questions after we were answering them. One of them was from It's the Duck Again, asking if, since a Wise Endeavor was lowered to a 150, level 150 for completion, or area 150 for completion instead of 175, are we intending to reimburse potions? And no, we're not. You know, I'm sorry that you ended up wasting them, although you were able to complete a much harder objective than everybody else. But you know, we were paying attention to how the community was doing with the event, and you know, it was evident that people were struggling more than was intended. It was intended to be challenging, but not so challenging that nobody could do it, and so it was nerfed. And then the other question that It's the Duck Again asked was about how potions of gold find stack, and I'm gonna wait until Justin gets here for that, because I haven't got the slightest idea how that math works. He is the math guy, so I'll wait for that. Now, Mars of the Manor, 42 chests and no shinies. I'm sorry. If it makes you feel better, I've probably opened 3 times that many, and I have maybe 2 that were from chests. Yeah, it's just kind of... It's just luck. It's an extremely low chance. That'd be another good question for Justin, actually. What is the actual chance to open a shiny? That'd be good to know. So, moving on to questions. Somebody asked me Reddit or Discord. I suppose that depends on what you're looking for. They're both good for different reasons. If you're wanting to connect with Codename staff, probably the Discord is better, because we have some developers and artists who lurk, as well as myself and a number of the other a number of other staff members, and so, you know, we're a little bit more easily approachable. I mean, you can tweet us. I mean, we get those, we look at it, but like at the same time, like, I'm pretty happy with our Reddit. You know, I like doing our community Q&As on there. You know, the information is sorted in a pretty good way. I see that Silisa has already posted today's stream code on the subreddit. Good for you. I'm just gonna, well done. That was quick. Also, Finn Jaserson also posted that. Yeah, and I don't know. It's a good spot, because if you boot up the subreddit, it's always going to have like whatever the current event is, and whatever the most recent patch content is, and then information about like when the next stream or the next Q&A is going to be. And we're intending to take that further as well. We are going to eventually add a kind of calendar to it, so you always know when the streams are coming up, and if we really get it together, who the guest is going to be. So yeah, it's an in progress, but you know, it's getting there. It's, you know, there's 974 people subscribed to it now. It's quite a bit more than not that long ago. 617 chests opened and 0 shinies. Chokan, were those all gold chests, or was that silver chests? That's a lot of chests. I mean, it could just be unlucky. Oh, I get Hitch. Hitch is wise, really? He is. All right. Well, if I got Hitch and Dadius to buff Ashara, that's pretty awesome. No Makos, though. All right. Is Delana wise? Interesting. Yeah. Click the bird, dude. Everybody wants me to click. All right, so getting into the questions. Grimoire, is it bad that while watching the stream I mouse over the gold trying to pick it up? You know, so you're not alone. The the Twitch Plays Idle Champions, which was officially launched today. For those who may not know, we were talking about it a bit on social media and did the blog post this morning. So that's officially launched, and I find that every time I play it, I end up trying to mouse over the birds. So yeah, it's you're not alone in trying to do that. It's very, very common. Raylander, question: the new event wizard guy is way worse than the bard. Is this intended? I disagree, Raylander. Dadius is not worse than Calliope. Although, if your Calliope is geared and your Dadius is not, I could see why you might think that. Dadius makes a Makos Ashara DPS formation viable instead of running a humans formation. So you'd be bonding with a Tiefling, Firbolg, and Dragonborn instead. But that said, I mean, you do need to gear Dadius out in order to do that. So yeah, and I know that's the formation that I've been pushing to my wall lately, just because I've been very lucky with Ashara and have much better gear on Ashara than some other characters, and like Dadius is decently geared as well. Big Nubao, do werebears and such count as humanoids or as beasts? So I'm gonna cop out of this answering this entirely and say that we always attribute the type of creature they are to what it says in the monster manual. And that could be confusing on occasion because, for example, we have some wolves in this adventure that are monstrosities and not beasts. And people kept reporting that as a bug, but that's actually what the monster manual says. So, we go with that's the way it is in D&D. Circle of the Arctic. I can understand why that might be counterintuitive, especially since some other games might tag their creatures a little bit differently. But yeah. So much chat now. Now I can't even keep up. King Richard the 16th has a question. This is the first game I play which is in any way related to D&D. What would you recommend I try next, considering I am a newbie? Oh, that is a huge question, King Richard the 16th, with varying opinions. So, I mean, we have a ton of friends that make awesome D&D games, including Beamdog and BCom Studios. So there's a Tales from Candlekeep game that's out on Steam right now that is like a really nice adaptation of the board game and does all the math and obnoxious parts for you, allowing you to just play the game. And as Virgin Mary Zombie Attack pointed out, just play D&D. D&D itself is wonderful. I feel like that goes without saying on this channel, but yes, play D&D. I cannot recommend it enough, especially, everybody has at least a friend or two probably who DMs, whether they've told you that or not. And so you can always do that. Beamdog has put out a ton of D&D games. There's a Neverwinter Nights Enhanced Edition coming out pretty soon. They've done Enhanced Editions a lot of their other games in the past. They're all pretty rad. Everybody has incredibly strong feelings towards games like Baldur's Gate 1 and 2. And then there's a ton of RPGs like it. So I guess it depends on what specifically as an RPG you're looking for in a game, and what you want to play. I mean, there's an MMO, there's an Neverwinter MMO right now that I haven't tried, but if I had it in me to try another MMO, I probably would check it out. Who has that kind of time? That's one thing I find about getting older, is that your ability to have time to do stuff like that is challenging. But yes, definitely play actual D&D. I can't even remember what it was like to play it for the first time. But my fiance is playing for the first time right now, joining a game with myself and some of our closest friends, and she's loving it. And she never had an interest in it before watching it on Force Grey. So can't recommend that enough. There are tons of great suggestions in chat, from Pillars of Eternity to Divinity Original Sin. I mean, I don't think those are actually actual D&D games, but they're great RPGs in their own right. And then depending on what you like about RPGs, I mean, there's so many. Yeah, King Richard the 16th, that is a massive, massive question. But yeah, there's a lot. There's no shortage. And I would definitely recommend. It's not worth getting into an argument about which edition of Dungeons and Dragons is the ideal one to play, because they vary pretty wildly. Some of my favorite campaign settings are not available in 5e, the current edition. You know, like, so if you want to play Dark Sun or Eberron, you know, you got to go back. But there's a lot of great stuff in 5e. You know, Curse of Strahd, Tomb of Annihilation. Yeah, so it's an entire universe as big as your imagination. So yeah, just jump right in. I mean, really, if you have a group of people that you're joining to play, just play whatever they're playing. So FlightX HD asked, how do we go about putting in the Steam codes? Just activate them on Steam. So if you have a Steam code, you go into Steam, and just to pull mine up at the same time so I give accurate description. You go up to the top of your Steam menu, and you go to activate a product on Steam. And you go through the dialogue, and you enter in the Steam code and hit enter, and then you get it. So like that does you really well. For example, like right now when we're doing our raffle, actually this isn't for a Steam code. This raffle is going to be for just 5 gold chests straight up. Darkfire Savior, there are all sorts of sidebars and suggestions for older world conversations within 5th edition. Yes, and also, like, if you pay attention to like Unearthed Arcana, they keep adapting some stuff in there as well. You know, they've brought in sub races and subclasses from some previous incarnations. You know, like you can go through and there's a little mini brief on Eberron with Warforged and such, and yeah. So I mean, really, you can homebrew anything you want, but the thing I like about the official D&D books is that they play test them quite thoroughly. So you tend, less frequently than with a lot of homebrew in my experience, you tend to not break the game and be horrifically overpowered in some way. So yeah, FlightX HD, you just redeem a code in Steam. Now if you're wondering how to redeem a code in game, I haven't redeemed the current stream code yet, the Have a Merry Simril, in the corner there. So I'm just gonna pull up the shop. I think it's right here. No, shop. Submit. Boom. Gold Daddiest chest. Done. Let's see what I got. Large potion of giant strength. Alrighty. And might as well open the silver while I'm here. Yeah, Darkfire Savior is right. With Unearthed Arcana, Eberron is almost perfectly represented in 5th edition already. But you know, it's just, wouldn't you love like a nice thick Eberron book filled with all the things? Oh man, yeah, that'd be sweet. Oboe Crazy, Lauren, appreciate that the codes are often a sentence, makes them easier to type in. Yeah, and it's just kind of it's an opportunity for us to just be kind of cheeky and clever sometimes. I don't think I'm going to need to level these guys anytime soon. I'll just let them power away here. So yeah, that was our first raffle for 5 gold chests. Oh, Peter's Lion has a question that I kind of accidentally sort of talked on already. So, Winter Wolves, what type of monster? So, monstrosity. They're monstrosities. The part that might make it challenging, since they look a lot like the other wolves that are beasts, is that monstrosities in the books have breath attacks, and yeah, these ones don't. We just didn't program them in that way, but it doesn't mean that we will not change it. Salvage bar, who is your daddiest, is the best code so far. I don't know. I'm pretty partial to octogenarian loot because I thought, you know, that was pretty clever for Gromma. But yeah, you know, it's just, we can't always think of a 16 character thing to say, but when we can, we'll just go ahead and roll with it. And so, since there may be some more new people in here, King Richard the 16th. So the stream code in the bottom corner is not a Steam code. The stream code you type in the menu in here. I just did it under chests, but it's like visit the shop, redeem a code, and it's like have a merry Simril, which would work if I hadn't already done it. It'll probably say something like you've already redeemed this. Done. But that'll work for everybody, and it will work until 3:00 p.m. Pacific tomorrow, December 15th. So you have some time to roll with that one. All right. Brandscaping. Is this the formation you use for this quest? So far, I haven't actually done this one yet because I said I was going to do it on stream, and which is why I'm thankful that it was nerfed. Because I will succeed at doing it on stream instead of possibly not and looking like a total dipstick. So, you know, I'm just going to plug away at it here until we get up to and past 150, and then I'll keep pushing it and see if I can't hit 175 anyways, just because who knows? I might get lucky. Daylight Asunder, why am I hoarding gems? I don't open chests that often. I mean, I got, how many do I have? Only 2,600. That's not that much. I had like 6,000 or 7,000 not that long ago. Eventually, you get to the point where your characters are pretty geared. You know, every slot's at least a rare, and you have a fair number of epics, and you just kind of you start holding onto them a little more. At least that's what I've found that I do. Afrandra, anybody else using Nayeli? She's boosting DPS for me way more than Gromma. In most cases, she does. Excuse me, but this is a Wise Endeavor mission, so I can't use Nayeli, unfortunately. Can I show my gear? Well, I'm reluctant to because my gear is so ridiculously strong. You know, I have what we in the office call developer privilege, in that all the DLC is given free to everybody who works at Codename. So I have everything. You know, so aside from a Celeste who has still rocking all the blues and an epic, most of my characters are wearing crazy good stuff. My event champions are all just decked out, wearing tons of good things. My Ashara is probably my proudest one. Just all purples. Yeah. Well, you know, a corpse. Because I'd read so much frustration from people about how many clicking potions that they needed to use in order to get through it, that I'm like, is it that hard? Because I genuinely hadn't tried it. So, yeah, like Smirkgrin, I have ridiculous and still had to pot the last 6 levels, so it was pretty wild. Yeah, and like, I don't use a lot of potions, so I probably have enough potions to power through. But yeah, I just was hoping that I could rely on my gear to do it. Purple Ashara is going to stomp this mission. Yeah, no, Ashara's. It's one of the biggest reasons why I don't use Kron, is my Ashara is amazing. So, yeah. Crabtastrophe. Now this is a question that I saw this question before we started, and I was hoping I'd get back to it. Where is Dritz and why isn't he in my party? And serious question, are you working on a new campaign? And if so, can you give us a hint? No spoilers. Yeah, can I give you a hint? I can't give you a hint for anything that won't result in me being dragged off screen and disappearing forever. So, sorry. I mean, we have a whole host of questions here for Justin, so I'll just keep muttering away to myself. I am the Matrix. Underdark, please. Yeah, Underdark. Such a good... Oh, I love Underdark. A lot of fun. good way to mess with people is like, I want to make a character with wings who can fly, and it's like, oh really? Well, we're gonna go underground, and your flying sucks. They're great. I'm looking forward to the next time I get to play an Underdark setting. And if my DM is here in the chat, you can hear that. Maybe we can just get Dylan to give us advanced answers with his facial expressions. Well, I would technically not be spoiling anything. Dritz and Underdark would be nice, wouldn't it? Route Jarvi, how does one get shiny gear? Luck. Let me think. The promos we've run, because twice now we've done refer a friend type promos, and we tried to tie them into when we were doing a lot of outreach so that more people would be playing the game. So completing that would have allowed you to win 2 different shiny items, and then the very basic starter pack DLC, the one that's like $2.99 or $3 ish, comes with a shiny. And then other than that, it's like it is a very, very rare chance whenever you get a piece of gear that it might be shiny instead. Yeah, that's it. Like it's a tricky one to get. I remember seeing somebody in the Discord yesterday or the day before linking that they had 9, and I was like, awesome. I sure don't have 9. I think I'm at 5 or 6 maybe. So yeah. Let's see. I'd sooner see a cow fly than get a shiny. Yeah, I mean, some people are just, I guess, luckier. It's that one is a super rare chance. It's such a crazy powerful buff sometimes though. So yeah. Will there be event DLC for those who missed it and those who want a chance to improve gear other than waiting around for the event to return? What can I answer about that? Except to say that we're looking at it. Yeah. Thanks for joining us, Colonel Savage. Yeah, I'm glad that you're enjoying the game. Recursivio, why is he using Grama? Is she really better in the forefront slots? Grama is kind of tanky. I mean, not that any of these characters I'm using right now are particularly tanky. And so I don't know. I chucked her in front because why not? It's going to be a while before we reach a point where I need to worry about whether or not I'm going to get one shot and killed with her. So might as well stick her out front where Nayeli would be. Otherwise, yeah. I know that's not really a good answer, but yeah. Raffle Stokey in chat. I don't know that we would do that. Yeah. Any plans to buff Archon? He's the one character I've yet to find a use for. That's funny that you say that, Niall Sustanet, because I do use Archon. Now, part of that's because I have the 4th grade DLC, so Archon has one of those awesome, epic, buffs your whole party kind of deals. But I've been using Archon in this, and I have him as one of the tanks and Nayeli as the other, and then I have Tyrell in the back along with Makos, and I run a Makos Ashara DPS setup, and it's been fine. I've been hitting my wall, which is around 195, 200, give or take. Yeah. So, I wouldn't say that he's useless, but he does need gear. I mean, the best formation for you is always going to be determined by which gear you have. Figgy 20,000 Archon equals the worst champion in the game, and he's the most expensive. It makes no sense. Yeah, Archon's swing timer is crazy fast. He is viable as a DPS depending on what your gear setup is. And things change. I mean, before Simral started, it was arguable that there was only one viable DPS formation. And now there's definitely at least 2 and a few others that are close in power. So, like Dadius was able to open up a lot of those opportunities. Makos is the best for Captain Nerl. Yeah. Like I think Ashara is the one I can probably buff further than Makos just because I have better Ashara gear. Yeah, it varies. Ooh, there's Tyrell. Should I put Tyrell in front? Yeah, I probably should, shouldn't So, Afranda, any reason why my hitch has 0 gear? Unlucky or just a bug? That is unlucky. I can say that my hitch was the slowest one 2 gear out of the champions that I have. You're just, yeah, unlucky. Will there be cosmetics in the future? I will wait for Justin to get here for that one. Casty 5566. How do you get the monk? So Stokey was our first ever event champion. And so that was High Harvest Tide, and that was the event that ran in September, October. And so there isn't currently a way to get Stokey, and we're definitely paying attention to the community feedback. So I can't say what we will or won't do because I don't want Justin to kill me when he gets here. We're still 10 minutes out from him joining us. Smirkgrin, you want Tyrrell in the back with no one or just one person by him for maximum moonbeam? Yeah, I find that I usually put him in the back bottom left because then the beam is most likely to cut across the most enemies. But he's just so much more tanky than Gromma. But actually, probably Hitch is better there, yeah. Buffs all around. Let's see, Garawar. Any plans to make a Plays Idle champion for Mixer? Their interactive buttons seem perfect for things like this since you don't have a chat log with commands. Oh, yeah, okay. So you mean like Twitch Plays Idle champions? I don't know that we currently have plans to do that, but that's an interesting bit of feedback. Moonbeam is his buff, Sunbeam is his ult. Yes, Silisa is correct. I probably got it mixed up. I don't know if anybody can tell from the sound of my voice or how I look, but I am at work kind of sick today. And the biggest reason I came in was because there wouldn't be anybody here to do the stream if I didn't. So, because everybody's trying to get a whole load of stuff done before Christmas break so that we don't come back from the break totally behind. So, all hopped up on cold effects and soup. And yeah, just chilling. Let's see. What else do we have for questions? All my chest epics are on Jarlaxle Finhawk. I'm sorry. Although, Jarlaxle is better now. There's more Jarlaxle synergy than there used to be. So at least there's that. Narpar, hashtag sick Dylan. Thanks for that. I actually have tissue here on the desk in case I start sneezing. Someone get this guy a raise or at least a bonus silver chest. It's one of those. It's more that because we are trying to get enough done before the Christmas break to not be behind when we get back from the Christmas break, we're doing twice as much stuff right now as we normally would. So like all the artists, I'm pretty sure worked through lunch, and we're just trying to get things done. So like I am writing blog posts with patch notes and such for the next 3 releases right now. So yeah. Let's see. Any chance on a targetable ultimate? I don't know. Chillidan 82. I'm new to the stream. Am I one of the devs? No. I am one of the community faces, kind of sick faces, for Idle Champions. I work in the office beside the devs, and I chat with them a lot. But they're all busy working on the game. Yes, no, Jarlaxle is able to do a lot more damage. I was testing him out in another formation and was surprised at how much better he has gotten. And I am hoping that that means that he will continue to get better and better. Without speaking for Justin or somebody else, I don't know what the long-term plans are for him. But yeah, Jarlaxle Banner should be good, right? So what else? It's 1:45. Justin's going to join us in a few minutes. I don't know how many of you know that we did an Extra Life campaign, but we did an Extra Life campaign. So the weekend of December 2nd and 3rd, we did a 24-hour stream starting at 9 a.m. on the Saturday and running for 24 hours straight. I had to bow out of that one about 14 hours in, but there are a few of our staff members that managed to stick it out, and it was just us playing games. I think I started with Darkest Dungeon because Hope and GL crashed for a couple other games I tried to boot up at the start. But we managed to raise about $6,500 US that weekend, and another few hundred US since. For the BC Children's Hospital Foundation, which is a local charity. And there's some pretty cool community perks in there depending on which milestones we hit. So we released 2 different codes for Idle Champions, a code for 1 gold chest and a code for 2 gold chests. It being Extra Life, it's actually still open through to the end of the year. So if anybody wants to continue to donate, they can. King Richard XVI is asking for a... keep reading out the whole name, for a Discord link. It's discord.gg/idlechampions. Let's see. It's quite unusual to have both Bruner and Jarlaxle in the same party, lore-wise. I know. I was thinking about that recently, actually. Yeah. Some conflict there. It's there's some clashing things with that. Colonel Sanders 68. Who is your favorite hero in the game? I find that changes moment to moment. Right now, I am loving Ashara and my Ashara focused build, just because Ashara has always been like in the back just as a buffer, and like sometimes you use the ult in order to blow the line back, but now it's like that magic missile smoking a whole bunch of enemies is so nice. Oh, it's helpful. You just you just wreck them. 3YG00. What is that? IGU? There's no raffle right now, but there will be one in a few minutes here. Because Bruce did it. Damn it, Bruce. Oh yeah, I see that now. Yeah. Not yet. Not yet. We're getting there. Oh, these Justin questions are just piling up. I hope we have time to get through all of these. Yeah, I'm just reading some of these questions. Any chance to get a targetable ultimate? Can we set an in-game speed for animations and game speed? Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is going to be good. It's going to be all over Justin. Are there plans to make the specializations meaningful? Currently, I make the same choices every single time. That is something that we're looking at. Powers Worder. I can't specify anything further, but yeah, that is something that we're looking at. Magenta shirt. Is there a chance that we get some one-liners from the champions when they finish the last critter of a wave or a wave? Like, you mean the one who deals the last punch? Oh, so like they quip cleverly whenever they kill something, That could be interesting. It might get old really fast though too. I mean, unless we program in a bazillion of them. Ridiculous would love to see some banter between champions while they're killing things. Maybe a speech bubble. Huh. It's an interesting idea. Mech Pack. Question. I see a silver or platinum coin on there, but no Makos. Is it just you have so much favor that you get better gold drop overall? Only a time I have seen them is with Makos in my party. That would be Stokey. When Stokey kills an enemy or has damaged an enemy and left a debuff on them, and then you kill the enemy, you get a silver coin. So because Stokey takes the same spot as Jarlaxle, Stokey also has something that buffs your additional ability to get more gold. So enemies that Stokey attacks drop additional gold when killed. Yeah, so that's where that's coming from. Oh, just try not to blow my nose. Oh, all right. So Chillidan82, any chance of some critical role characters? Wouldn't that be sweet? Oh, I'd love that. I mean, technically we kind of have one already in Arcan, but that's Joe's character. But yeah, that would be really cool. Kurt Hong, anyone have issues loading the game? Mine is stuck at loading game definitions. That is not the way things are supposed to be right now. Check to make sure there isn't an update that you need. You may need to exit Steam in order to see it. And if that's not the case, then yes, as Erica said just now, send us an email. Badger Food, is Stokey's coin multiplicative with Makos or additive? That's a math question that I would leave for Justin. I'm not sure offhand. Artaxed, I bought the 50 million favor for +1 gems from each boss, but I still get 4 gems sometimes. It's not a bug. The thing is that we haven't yet set it so that you can see that gem as different than the other ones. So it's there, but it's not showing up as a different color or anything like we do with the coins. It's been brought up before, and it's something that we're going to look at. Grimoire, I know you said you would not be implementing leaderboards, but could we get some friend-only leaderboards? Currently, right now, there is no intention to do leaderboards, just because. I mean, this is a single-player game, and you know, wax off. How do you get Stokey? You get Stokey by having competed in High Harvestide, doing that event back. It was our first event, September, October. So that's how you get Stokey. Yeah, you know, maybe I should take her out of my lineup and swap with Jarlaxle just to make this more reflective of what everybody else has. Oh no, Jarlaxle can't do it. Well, here, let me just do that. Ooh, that's a DPS loss. Let's see how far we get. Let's level up these characters here. Yeah, Wax Off, I'm sorry you missed it. You know, I mean, eventually we'll get to the point where we have so many champions that it's less of a deal if you've missed one, but we'll have to get there. Fang Terror, how do you get a time machine? Lauren covered that for you. Have you ever watched Back to the Future? Or Primer, or one of the million other time machine films? Baron Stromgard, that's what I did. Yeah, I moved him. TR Spray Paint, do you know if those events will repeat? I can say that the intent is to have annual events. And so that if somebody had missed an event champion, that when it comes around again, High Harvestide next year, for example, you would be able to get Stokey then. And then possibly another champion, depending on how things go and, you know, whether or not anything changes between now and then. Oh, Rocks in My Dryer. I did miss your question before. So, is there any chance of adding an option that allows you to see the total DPS being contributed by each given character? Their own DPS plus the DPS being added to all other characters by their buffs. So you mean one overlay where, because I mean, if you mouse over a character, you can see how hard they're hitting now. You know, like base damage 126 E31, 7 seconds. Right, so like you can see them. Even Hitches has it for both of his attacks. You can see his stab and his knife throw. So there are options to see that now. Yeah. In terms of their buffs, though, we don't. That's something that we were talking about the other day because there's also. Yeah, you can't see it. So we're trying to look at ways to explore how you get that information. I think it's the best thing I could say. Lossian86, is there any way we could, at the bare minimum, put the chests in the store after a champ event has passed? I will pass that along. Their individual DPS doesn't show how much their buffs are contributing, no. It just shows how hard they are hitting right now. Oh, as raffle prizes. Yeah, Hitch isn't an event champion. That's why he comes from normal gear. Or that's why he gets gear that way. He's an unlock for signing up for the newsletter. I'm assuming everybody has done that, but that's also an assumption. So we're almost at 2 o'clock, and I think perhaps now would be a good time to do another giveaway. So this will be for a Brunner starter pack DLC, Brunner Battlehammer starter pack. So whenever Erica gets that rolling in the chat, we will open that raffle. And while this raffle is happening, this one will get you this handy golden beard clips of the clan, which, you know, a whole lot of champion damage. It's a good one. It's a gooder. Oh, excuse me, as well as a number of chests. So good luck to you all, and yeah, we'll get Justin to come in here and join us. Of course, I'm on a 10-second delay, so it'll take him 10 seconds to come over here. So then there'll be 10 seconds of awkwardness on my part as I wait for him. But yeah, good luck to you all. He's just like looking at me through the window. That was funny and not at all creepy. I did, because like you're just obscured. So I was like, yeah, just cracking away at a wise endeavor.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. It's a 2-person setup now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and I got the sexy radio voice. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Hey everyone.
Yeah. So, welcome, Justin.
Thank you.
I gave you a really huge intro on the Discord, but I forgot it. So,
all right.
Yeah, but we have here. They haven't been waiting to give me questions today. They've been waiting to ask you questions.
Okay. Did you tell them I was coming? Is that what happened?
Yeah. Yeah.
Shouldn't have done that.
So they're fighting over Brunner DLC right now.
Okay.
And then so I guess the first one was. I
want to see chat.
Oh, you want to see? Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. There it is.
Hey guys.
Hey. Leucothea. Well, that's a neat little graphic. I haven't seen that one before. So let's see. What do we got first?
Oh, they want me to click the birds because you're like
yeah,
really
because I'm
sick
not
right now.
Yeah. So Daylight Asunder.
Mm-hmm.
Last week it was mentioned that there would be changes when there is no progress attained in the first 150 levels or so. I'm at 8.3 E9 Celebor's favor, and I don't think, and I don't start getting no benefit to favor gained until after about 165, and only a 5% gain after 4 to 10 hours.
Mm-hmm.
How many of your player base are in a similar situation? I'm having more fun with the events and chat than the main campaign since progress has slowed.
Yeah, that is definitely something we're going to be looking at in the new year. Not quite yet, but it is something we are aware of and something we want to fix. The thing about main campaign progress is it's really just capped by the number of upgrades that the champions have. Oh, there's a fast one. Yeah, damn it. So
Here, I can actually hide the.
Generally, you'll start to make progress again when we roll out a bunch of new upgrades. So we do have a couple of those updates slotted in for the new year. Hopefully those will help people push to higher levels and thus get more favor and all that stuff. So it is something we're thinking about. And then I think specifically what you're talking about is sort of the speeding up the progression between like level 1 and 100 or level 1 and 150 so that you get back up to the point where you're earning favor a little bit faster. And that's also something we're going to be looking at, but we don't really have an ETA on that for you yet. Yeah.
Sweet. I suppose on a somewhat similar note, Finhawk is asking, can we get an in-game speed setting for animations and game speed?
Mm-hmm.
And it's something that Dave's been asked all the times he's been on about speeding up those first 50, 80, 100 levels. So I don't know, is there anything you can speak to about on that?
So I think this question here is more about just making everything just go faster. which is actually a mode that we have as developers on dev. We don't allow that on the live game, but we do use it on dev to get through content really, really quickly, and it's very, very satisfying. And it'd be really cool to find a way to bring that to you guys. I don't know. I'd have to think about what kind of balance implications that would have. Yeah, and Thanatos, so their scripters can just speed up the clock and make things go faster.
Okay. Oh,
yeah,
geez.
yeah.
I need to get on that.
We don't guarantee the game works properly when you do that, though. So
yeah, it's
do at your own risk.
It's part of why the policy to date is so far has been we don't confirm or condone. It's like you can do that, but it's
yeah. I mean, you want to try and use like packs or whatever, okay. But when your account breaks, don't come crying to us.
Yeah, right. Hey? So Silisa asks, will there be more than one swap per character slot?
Yeah, most likely there will be. That is how it's worked in Crusaders, and that's very likely how it will work now. So we've got 12 champion slots right now. We've got one non-event champion that swaps in with one of them. We'll probably have another one soonish. And then the rest are just event champions. So yeah, we'll continue to have new event champions, new campaign champions, new other champions from other sources, who knows, all swap in to those original 12 slots. Just to expand on that, that doesn't necessarily mean there will only ever be 12 slots. It's just for the next, dozen champions or so, they're going to slot into those first 12. We don't have any plans to expand it in the near future.
Is there like a threshold that you reach when you decide to add another, like a 13th or a 14th slot?
No, it's really just how it feels. The one thing that gets interesting as you put more and more champions into the game is that you can only ever use 10 or so of them, and so the question becomes, what do you do with all those ones that are just sitting there on the bench? And that's the more important question for us, is once we get to the point where everyone has a swap, there's 12 bench slots, a swap for each, so that's 24 champions, but you can only have 9 or 10 of them on the field at once. The other guys need something to do. Yeah. So that's more important for us.
Okay. Moving on, what do we got? Any chance you could start doing 2 events? One new event and then a second one, cycling an old one at the same time? They want Stokey.
Yeah, they do want Stokey. We do want to give you guys a way to get Stokey that is not waiting a year for the event to repeat. So it's on our minds. We've got some ideas. We've got some really cool ideas, actually, of how that could be done. But we don't have anything to announce right now, unfortunately.
Okay, that's good. That's better than the answer I gave earlier. When I'm like, well, the intent is to do another one. Alrighty, so Badger food. Gromma not being able to receive Ashara's bond seems unfortunate. Not that she is playable anyway, but are there plans to add new races to his bond options?
So we don't really have any plans to change his bonds. Likely what you'll see is something similar to what Dadius did. We'll add a new champion that has those bonds, and make it a choice of, well, you really want those bonds, then maybe you have to give up someone else. Yeah.
Okay.
So no chance, no plans to change Ashara's stuff. And sorry, Ashara is a girl.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Could have sworn it said so in the thing.
She is.
Yeah, her flock.
Yes. She's an elder of Kirsabal.
Yeah. Somebody was asking me, he's like, how come in this one thing Ashara is a druid and the other thing it's mage? I'm like, because there's more than one character sheet for like everybody.
Yeah, we've got character sheets for Dritz that shows him as a fighter and a ranger and a, well, not a rogue, but
yeah, it varies, because I remember asking Chris about it at one point.
A lot of
varying answers.
Yeah, a lot of the champions or heroes that show up outside of, or like in the books and stuff, they're not really pigeonholed into a single class. So I think that's possibly what happened with Ashara. She's a wizard, but she's got access to some druid spells.
Yeah, there's druid stuff in the.
It's the wave your hands.
The Tomb of Annihilation book, I think, is where
Exactly,
all that stuff is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Lordy guy, why no discount on buying multiple gold chests with gems?
Because we don't have any discounts on buying chests with gems. We offer the silver chest ones. You can buy multiple silver chests, but we don't give you a discount on that. I know some people think there is a discount, but there actually isn't.
Probably just they're bad math. Okay,
No.
this one I get all the time. Delina is terrible. Any buffs in mind?
Yeah, I mean the Dadius buffs Delina, so certainly she got a little bit of a boost from that. We'll keep on looking at what we can do. I think a lot of people maybe don't give her a fair shake. If you bond Ashara to elves, you set everyone up to buff Delina. She's not terrible. She may not be quite as good as everyone else, but yeah.
It's that hitch-friendly buff, man. It's so good. All right, so Silisa, when can we get a better UI for looking at loot, especially when you find a duplicate in a chest? The original item is essentially hidden, so it's difficult to know which one got boosted.
Yeah, that's something we want to do. We want to improve that process. We want to both improve that process and make it a little bit more significant to get duplicates. I know there's probably a bunch of questions about getting duplicates instead of unique pieces of loot. I see those ahead of here. But we definitely want to improve that process so that you don't ever feel like you open a chest and it's like, oh, this was useless to me.
Yeah, okay. Zoot Shoot wants to know when we're getting tier 4 blessings.
Down the road, for sure. There will be tier 4 blessings, but I don't have an ETA on when those will be out.
Yeah, I feel like enough people haven't gotten the tier 3 one. You could probably look that up, how many people have it.
I probably could.
Yeah. But it seems unlikely that too many people have unlocked all of those. They're pretty expensive.
They are.
Okay.
And especially with sort of, as I was saying earlier, the soft calves are based around the champions, so each champion runs out of upgrades at a certain point, and that sort of, it creates a bit of a wall that you can get to, and since your favor is based upon how far you get or how much gold you've earned, essentially the same thing,
yeah,
then there is sort of a soft cap to the amount of favor you can get right now in the main campaigns. So we sort of keep that in mind when we're putting in the blessings.
Yeah, okay. So on the note of what we're keeping in mind, Sirhan asks if we're going to keep level 175 in the events as a goal. So Versatile was 175, and then A Wise Endeavor was 175.
It was.
Yeah.
So that is a great question, and it's actually one that I spoke to last time I was on. And the idea with the events is that we can speed those up and slow those down. We can speed up and slow down your progression in them. And our general idea in events is that we want to get you basically going from like feeling pretty new and weak to feeling super powerful. So from the beginning of the sort of curve where you have no blessing or no divine favor, all the way up to having sort of being able to cap out your champion levels and that sort of stuff. So with that said, right now 175 feels pretty good for how far you can get in a week with the sort of favor curve that we have in the events. As we add more upgrades to the champions in the new year and beyond, I think we'll probably see that come up. But it's not that it's going to get harder to get to that level. It's just going to, you're just going to earn more favor and get there faster. So we want the events to feel like you're getting really powerful really quickly, and so yeah.
Okay. The Tardek wants to know if there'll be any cosmetics in the future.
So like champion skins.
Yeah,
hats.
I guess that's the idea.
We are on Steam.
Yeah. Hats. Are you thinking about what is that, Team Fortress?
Yes.
All those hats. Yeah.
That is something I would love to do. Like really love to do. I think it'd be really cool to be able to sort of pick how you want your champions to be geared. There's a couple of challenges with that. The most obvious one is we don't have an infinite number of artists working here. Our artists are awesome, and they work really, really hard, and they're always behind because we give them way too much stuff to draw. But I would love to be able to have some alternative skins for the champions, or hats, or whatever for them. The second challenge there is that we have to put all the art we do through wizards. So if it's something that is maybe a little bit too fourth wall breaking, then they'll probably poo-poo on that.
Poo-poo on it.
Yes, that's the official term. They're quite refined, you know.
Yeah.
So we have to be careful about what we do there, and also like there's some iconic looks that characters have. Like Brunor's armor is very iconic. Dritz's cape. I mean, we don't have Dritz in the game. Other characters' weapons are very iconic.
Yeah,
so we can't
like,
change those without.
So like I know that in the art for some of them, like especially when you see the art, that like the official art, it's like some of it will be drawn this like sweeping interpretation of the character, and then other parts are extraordinarily detailed, and it's like usually like, oh, Caddy Bree's bow is like extraordinarily elaborate, but then it's like pretty normal looking armor, and just like they always seem to do stuff like that with the way that they do it. So yeah. Any chance at targetable ultimate abilities?
Oh, that'd be really cool. We actually have been talking recently about sort of some more tactical ideas that we could add to the game to sort of make bosses really cool, boss fights really cool. So similar to what we did with the T-Rex, we're always looking at ways to sort of make boss encounters kind of more interesting and more unique, and sort of surprise you when you get to them. And so, targetable ultimates could be one mechanic that we use to sort of make bosses interesting, or make them more tactical.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. I think we just answered this one. Duplicated drops, so the unique gear is dropped something in the future. Oh, okay. So they're wondering. Ari is wondering whether or not, when they're getting chests, if they could gear out across everybody before they start getting duplicates. Yeah,
I think it's something we want to look at, and sort of how we can do that, so that it's not just like open 6 chests and you've got everything.
That too.
We do want to still have a little bit of randomness there, and a little bit of surprise. We don't want it to just be like, okay, I've got the 5 items, so I know this chest for sure is going to contain another one. But I think we can push it in the direction of being able to gear up your guy without doing too much extra. Because I know we've certainly had people send in support tickets being like, I opened a ton of chests and I've only got 5 of the 6 epics, or I'm still missing a slot, or stuff like that. And we definitely want to avoid that. We want the opening chest to feel meaningful. And with regards to duplicates, I mentioned earlier, we do want to make those feel more useful as well. Right now, I think just the percentages that they buff your items is a little bit small, and I think we gave ourselves a lot of leeway to boost that, and I think we could in the future.
Okay. This question has come up a few times, and I don't have the math for it. Badger Food's asking whether or not Stokey's coin is multiplicative with Mako's Dark Luck.
Yeah, you know what? I want to know what badgers actually eat. I want to know who we're talking to here.
Well, with the honey badger, it's like snakes and literally anything it wants.
Right. Yeah. Well, honey badger don't give a...
Yeah. Don't give a shit, yeah.
Exactly. As for the question, I actually asked this out in because I heard this question come up before I came on, and I asked Dave, and he said, I don't know. And Mark had his headphones on. And so my assumption would be is that it's multiplicative. Everything we add to the game is generally multiplicative unless it specifically says additive. So I'm going to guess multiplicative, but I don't actually know for 100%.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure.
Sweet. That's the answer that we love. Okay, Lossian86. Is there any way that we could, at the bare minimum, put the chests in the store after a champ has passed? So they're looking to gear out champions after the event's over. Yeah, so we don't have any plans to do that right now. I mean, we specifically keep them in the store for a limited amount of time, just so that they feel special and they feel like you gotta get it geared up now because it's your shot. But with that said,
One of the things we do in Crusaders of the Lost Idols, our other game, is we do limited time sales of different types of chests. And so I think that's something that we could definitely see come into this game.
Oh, okay.
Where we could see, maybe for a weekend or for a week or whatever, that you can get chests that have gear for Stokie or gear for Grama. And then, of course, as we always do, there'd probably be a chest code or two or something on the stream released for that. So there will be ways to get gear for those champions.
Okay. And is that both gearing and unlocking champions, or is it just gearing?
Just gearing for that particular feature.
Okay.
As I said before, we do have some ideas for how to potentially unlock event champions between events, between cycles.
Okay. So this is a question from Railander. Can we toggle between showing damage per hit and hits per second versus the final damage per second?
Is this underneath?
I assume they're talking about
underneath the
damage up here,
or up there. Total DPS.
There's like total DPS.
Yeah, there's
and that's
a
kind of
number
what it has
different
for all of them.
Places where these are shown. I'm not 100% sure which one we're asking about. So we show final DPS just at the top. I guess we don't show that for an individual champion. And we show their cooldown and their damage per hit in the. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what you're asking, but if you can clarify in chat, then I'm sure Erica can add your clarification in into the
yeah, that was
questions.
Railander.
So back to it.
Yeah, we can get back to that one.
Railander, get back to me.
Yeah. So Nixka, why does only Ashara get the Dadius DPS buff? Is this how his buff works, or is the positioning wrong? Well, yeah, he buffs based on it's int, right? Yeah. So
yes.
No offense to Jamila, but she's not the brightest bulb, so I just didn't bother to try and put her in range.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, Dadius buffs within 2 slots of himself.
Yeah. Yeah. So, because normally I would have him down 1, and then the DPS are both definitely covered, but I prefer having what's his name, Tyrrell in a as to the bottom left as possible, because then the beam tends to arc the best way.
Yes, that's an interesting sort of positional thing that we weren't really designing for when we designed those guys like him and Calliope. But their ults, they tend to do better at the back of the formation because their ults tend to form more of a line and go through sort of the line of advancing guys.
Yeah.
So that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, because especially if you have him in front, he'll sometimes just shoot straight down.
Just shoot it straight down. Just get like
just clip all the guys that are right in front. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we got a follow up from Raylander. Heroes don't show DPS; they show how much damage they do in one hit. But then you need to calculate the damage divided by hits per second to accurately compare DPS across heroes.
Okay. Yeah. So I think we made a particular choice to just show damage on them because of the way the game works with cooldowns and hit-based stuff. It's kind of it's not very honest to show DPS there, because if you don't have an enemy to hit, your DPS will actually be lower. Right, because you may have an attack cooldown of 4 seconds, but if you have to wait 8 seconds for your chance to hit, then your DPS is actually lower. So I can see it being used as a comparison between heroes, but we decided not to show it there just because it's kind of a fib. And we didn't want to have some data there that was just like technically wrong.
Okay.
But I mean, it's something we could think about maybe hiding a little bit deeper into the profile or something like that. Just not on the tooltip there, I don't think.
Okay, yeah. So it's a swing timer thing.
It's something to think about, but that's our reason for not having it there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Strong Arm 852. What do you think about having a tier beyond Archon that has champions like Elminster?
Could do. I mentioned earlier, we don't have any plans in the immediate future to have 13-plus seat champions, but it's definitely something that could happen in the farther future.
Yeah. Okay.
There was a follow-up here. Someone asked why we have DPS at the top of the screen, and that is because we could not figure out, we struggled with this for a long time, trying to figure out what number to put there, because we wanted a number there that went up when your formation was better and went down when your formation was worse, and didn't change as you changed areas and all sorts of stuff. We tried a bunch of sort of predictive stuff about how much damage your formation could actually do, and nothing really worked. And so we decided to just say, screw it, put DPS there. Now ultimates are based off of DPS, or your total formation DPS, so it kind of makes a little bit more sense, because it's kind of like, this is how much your ultimates are going to hit for. And you can also use it to sort of say, okay, my formation's probably better now because it turned green and ticked up when I moved this guy around.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Interesting. That's a good design insight in that one.
Design ain't easy sometimes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oos. Any chance to balance or buff Krond?
Yeah, we'd love to take another pass at Krond. I think there's always the possibility that we'll roll out someone who buffs half orcs, and then all of a sudden he'll become super powerful. You never know.
He does hit very hard now. In a vacuum, he hits hard.
In a vacuum, he hits very hard. Unfortunately, he doesn't benefit from a lot of the more specific buffs. There's two.
Also, he must be unlikable too, because he doesn't bond with anybody.
Yeah, there's two buffers he doesn't gel with. So I think as we see sort of some different buffers go in there, some replacements, I think we will see.
That made me chuckle. Okay. And Draugr, can we get a bird killer achievement?
For sure. I would love to put in some cool achievements related to distractions. One I really want to put in is an achievement for killing 2 birds with 1 click. 2 birds, 1 stone. It's like my goal. Like, if I can get that into the game, like I'll
can you even do that? Happy. Like, if they overlap,
you sure can.
Do you have to double? You
yeah,
can.
Yeah. Single click will take down 2 birds.
Wow.
I think. Huh. That's a good question for Dave. Let's add that to the Dave questions, and then he can struggle with whether or not that actually happens.
Okay. We got a bunch more questions to get through, but there's a few other things that we need to go over first, I think. We do have 2 birds, 1 click. We do have another giveaway coming up in a second here, but we also have an announcement to make. As soon as I can pull up the document that says what.
Did I go hide all our announcements?
No.
This one. Oh, this is awesome! Yeah.
So, over the last few weeks since December started, we've been doing a Gleam contest, and we've just drawn the names for the winners, and so 5 people will get one of these Idle Champions T-shirts, just like what I'm wearing right now. But
I did not
one
wear
of these
mine today.
in their size, with one grand prize winner getting one of these extremely lightweight Tomb of Annihilation board games that may or may not be an actual just block of wood.
I see that.
Yeah. Oh my God. Jesus. Yeah, but it's like it's a little heavier than it looks. And I now have those names. So
go ahead. I'm gonna.
Just have a look at it. So let's start with our runners up. So runner up number 1. From Port St. Lucie, or Port St. Lucie, Florida, Eric Archer will be getting an Idle Champions t-shirt.
Congratulations.
We have, I don't know what the odds of this are, but we have 2 winners from Spokane, Washington, just over the border. That's like just a hop, skip, and a jump away from where we are right
Rigged.
now. Wade Libert and Jed Duty. Who will also be getting shirts, and then we have our 4th runner-up shirt is going all the way to Brazil, to an Adriano Santos in Belo Horizonte. I haven't got the slightest idea where that is, but I imagine the shipping costs is going to be real cheap. Yeah, but I don't know where in Brazil. I mean, Brazil is pretty freaking huge. It's like most of South America. And then we have a grand prize winner. Yeah. From all the way across the Rocky Mountains in Calgary, Alberta, Jeremy Poon is going to be getting this lightweight board game in the mail sometime soon.
I'm going to Calgary for Christmas.
Oh, are you? Oh, do you want to drop it off? You could. We have the address. That would be awkward. Just, hey.
Hi there.
Yeah.
I'm the founder of the company you want a board game from.
Yeah. But congratulations to Eric, Wade, Jed, Adriano, and Jeremy. Your prizes will be in the mail soon. Acromet says it's the southeast region near Rio de Janeiro. Cool. That's awesome. I always wanted to go to Brazil. Yeah.
Congratulations.
So yeah, we will be sending those out. And then at the same time, we're going to do another giveaway coming up pretty quick here. Congratulations. So it's not actually a block of wood, I don't think. I mean, it's still wrapped, but it's funny. It flagged the guy talking about it because the guy's name is Poon, so it's like it flagged it as like maybe it shouldn't be in text. It's time for a raffle, and this one is for a Nayeli Starter Pack DLC, which is a pretty big deal, actually.
That's a really big starter pack.
Yeah, that's generous of us.
That is very generous of us. How long are we going to be giving away all these very expensive starter packs?
Well, these ones, after the next stream, we're not giving away anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that would be the next prize after this, which is the all-powerful giant prize. But the Nayeli Starter Pack is a pretty big deal one. That's
great. That's a lot of chests.
Yeah, it's like 20 chests or something.
20,
24?
25? 20?
I don't know. Whole bunch of chests.
I don't know.
Who knows?
Good luck, everyone.
It's a lot of chests. So good luck on that one. That's a lot of gold chests. Garwar, didn't see a bot adding them. Did it break? That's a good question. I'm just scrolling up.
Maybe it hasn't actually been started yet. Everyone's just like...
there's always a chance that it's hard to tell. I can't tell. The raffle spammed it so hard that I can't tell if that actually happened or not. There's always a chance that Erica got up to go to the bathroom or something and has missed it. So I guess we'll find out.
Erica, what's going on?
There is a chance that we'll have to do this again. But yeah. The canned. Oh. Twitch and Ford saying that the command at the start, there was a typo in it. There we go. Now it's open.
Okay.
Now you can enter it. So please enter now. Enter now.
Yep.
Yeah. And while that blows our chat away, let's get through some more of these questions. Nicodemus 2018. Any plans for passive abilities for those champions not in formation? Bench warmer. Yeah,
we don't have any plans for that right now, but we do. I think we will do something with champions who are not in formation.
Some sort of cheerleader ability, like you go.
For those of you who played Crusaders of the Lost Idols, you'll know that we had a whole mission system where you could send them off and get stuff. I won't say that we're going to be doing exactly that. But we definitely are gonna. I mentioned this earlier in the interview. We're gonna be doing something with those guys because we have to at a certain point. You get to a point where you've got 9 out of 24 of your guys actually in formation and being used, and those other 15 guys just kind of they start to get bored. Maybe they wander off. Their skills diminish. Their DPS goes down. So you want to keep them busy and give them something to do. Yeah. So definitely we want to give them something to do in the future.
Okay.
Whether or not that will be directly buffing your damage or something like that, we'll see.
Right. Nicodemus followed up actually. It kind of blew past before I could finish reading it. Those crazy raffles. No, I think I lost it altogether.
I saw a Nicodemus one.
No.
Okay.
I missed it. Darn. Chicken soup for Dylan. Yeah, no doubt. That's what I had for lunch, actually.
I'm actually a little bit nervous about being stuck in this small, stuffy room with you for like an hour.
Yeah.
You gonna ruin my Christmas? Is what's going on?
Well, I feel like Nick ruined mine.
Nefarious plot.
No,
that's true. There's been something going around.
Yeah. And not fair to blame it on Nick. It's funny because last Christmas I didn't get sick once. The whole winter it was totally great until the spring from hell and sinus nightmare hit, and then I was just like, wow, I can't breathe for 3 months. Champions not in formation should be hunting for food and water, or for chicken soup for me.
No, they can just be chilling out, right? Like there's a whole bunch of stuff in the player's handbook about what to do while you're not adventuring. So they can be learning a new skill. You can be crafting a magic item. You know.
Yeah. In the campaign I'm playing right now with some friends, we're like 2 weeks into the Chult Jungle, and like this elf kind of walks out of the bush like, not carrying any supplies, but like having just eaten, and it was just like had been out there and lost their party and had been around for a while. And we're like, "Are you good at hunting?" They're like, "Yeah." It's like, "Cool, you could do that for us." That's pretty funny. Alrighty. Ooh, okay. Getting into the more mathy questions. This is good.
Oh, okay.
Garawar, any way we can get a toggle that lets you level up an upgrade? It's like, let's go upgrade and then X1, X10, X100, X500, X1000. Sometimes I don't want to upgrade someone for over 100 levels and want to be able to see when they get where I want them instead of guessing.
Gotcha. So basically you just want like a basically max, spend all my stuff button.
Yeah, a max level
button.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can look at that. That probably wouldn't be very hard.
Yeah.
Mike, are you listening? Mike, do that.
Yeah. Mike, you've got 2 days left. Get this finished.
Maybe Dave's listening. Dave, get Mike to do that. Dave?
Yeah.
We'll see.
There's about a 9-second delay before it goes out to Twitch, so there's that part. All right. Daylight's Asunder. Can you explain how the potions stack?
Yeah. Potions stack multiplicatively with each other.
Okay, so if you have a 100% gold fine potion and a 300% gold fine potion, then it's...
That would be like a 600.
I guess that'd still be 300.
No, it'd be 600.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Or 4. Yeah, they stack multiplicatively. So
awesome.
like a 100% more would be a times 2, and a 300% more would be a times 4. So it'd be 8 times 8, so 700% if you stack those two. It's kind of weird how the percentages stack, but yeah. So yes, those stack multiplicatively. Chest and contract gold is not affected by potions, so that is not something that they do.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you could stack stuff up and.
Yes, we obviously don't want that to happen because that
makes things too easy.
It makes things too easy, and also makes it very easy to do things that are ideal, like open a chest without using potions first. So we don't want to basically allow for super non-optimal play.
Okay. OG17, should we expect a non-chest use for gems?
We don't have any plans for that right now. If we do, we will let you know way ahead of time. But for now, the only use for gems is to buy chests, and that will be the only use in the near future.
Okay. This one from Pub00 is kind of interesting. Will we be introduced a dice rolling element in game, such as rolling a d20 every day and we get the amount in gems, or we can earn a dice roll element for boss areas and we get the amount in percentage damage, etc. They just want to roll dice.
Yeah, that is a cool idea. We want you to be able to roll dice too. There was actually a mechanic for earning chests in free play, in the event chests in free play, that we wanted to do with dice rolling. We haven't got around to yet, but oh yeah, you got a bird.
I just happened to look over at the right time.
Yes, we do want to potentially add some dice rolling stuff in a future update.
Okay.
That would be cool.
Holy Gigolo. Maybe replace the health potions.
Holy Gigalo.
Gigalo? Maybe. That's not what I said, though. Maybe replace health potions with speed potions.
Yeah. That's not a bad idea. We certainly have spawn speed potions in Crusaders. Could be something we do in this game. No immediate plans for that. We haven't done our pass on potions yet.
Okay. ETA on pass on? No, I'm kidding.
ETA is when it's ready.
After Christmas, yeah. Anaredelic. Do you plan on implementing a statistics button like Crusaders?
We don't have any immediate plans for that, but it's something that we could see in the future. It's not on on our like month or month and a half kind of runway though.
Okay. This question, we've had this question before, and Dave already said no.
Yeah.
But to follow up on it, Dylan4242, what about doing 2 missions at once and swapping between?
That's so. No, before you answer that, let me just. I'll tell you a story. Before I came in here, I was saying, "All right, Dave, I'm gonna go in," and Dave specifically said to me, "Don't promise anything that is way too hard to do." So, Dave, this one's for you. No, that's really hard. Our system just the game is just not designed to allow that, and there is a very, 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 very small chance that we will ever do that. It's very small.
Sounds good.
But it'd be really cool. It's just we can't. But it'd be cool.
Yeah. Silisa, any plans to add to Mink's favorite enemy list?
Nope. Much like adding to Ashara's bonds, we are pretty happy with sort of what options there are for those. If we were going to add more sort of favorite enemy types, I think if we add another ranger to the game, that would be a good opportunity to do it. Well, maybe not the next ranger, but the next ranger after that.
Okay. Somebody's asking whether or not we could put in a hotkey for toggling scientific notation.
I'm sure we could. I don't know if we will.
I'm not going to say their name, but it's an interesting idea.
Oh, medic. It's just medic.
Yeah. Sure, that's what they probably meant.
Yeah.
Wiki Debaseman? Oh, I get it. That's funny. Any possibility of keeping favor for the annual events instead of converting it?
So this is, I think the reason they're asking this is they want to keep it in case the event repeats, and they want to be able to start sort of from a big advantage. And we don't have any plans for that right now. We kind of want to wipe everyone going into like a second year event. But with that said, we are not 100% sure how we will handle year 2 events at this point. It will be something we'll have to think about in the next 6 months or so.
Okay.
But we don't have specific plans for that right now. But for now, we're just going to keep on going ahead with converting your favor within a week of the event ending.
Okay. Somebody's asking for the, I don't know, every time we've streamed, can enemy types be more easily identified?
Yeah, we talked a while ago about adding like a bestiary, into the game, which would have an entry for each enemy you encounter, which could have some stats about like what tags they have, what type they are, etc.
Yeah.
And so that is something we'd love to do. It's just a matter of resources and timing.
Okay. What about the idea of having different chests for consumables versus equipment?
Yeah, I could see. I mean, I can't see having a chest that has 5 different pieces of equipment in it, because that's just a little bit too much better than the existing chests. I could see if someone really wants to get a whole bunch of potions and doesn't care about the equipment, that we could do just consumable chests. Yeah, probably not a chest that's just chock full of equipment. That would just be too good, especially if we do get around to buffing the duplicate system.
Okay. Are there plans to add a victory animation? Right now they just kind of hop.
It'd be cool to do, but see 30 minutes ago when I answered about our art team being squashed with all the art we asked them to do. Though with that said, this coming week, the last week before Christmas, we might actually have some time. So we'll see what we can get done in that time. Probably won't be victory animations. I know a lot of people have been asking about more distractions, so maybe
just other
indoor
stuff.
Distractions could be something we could
Just
get
mimics.
to this week.
Just people getting attacked by mimics everywhere.
But yeah, no plans for victory animations right now.
What about a pause button so that they can move their formation around?
Yeah, we don't really have plans to do that. I would suggest if you want to play with your formation, just go back to Area 1. Yeah, we don't have any plans to have a pause button for a variety of reasons.
Okay. Smart grin. When or if you do buff duplicates, will it apply retroactively?
Yep, of course. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think the thing we'll probably do is just, if we were going to buff them, if I was just going to go and buff them tomorrow, I'd just be like, okay, so right now each basically level that a duplicate has increases its effect by 0.1% or something like that. We'd probably just boost that percent per level. So your items would retain the level they were, but that level would have a bigger effect on the items.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Maxwell begun. You said that you don't want clicking to scale throughout the entire game. Can we see other non-damage related abilities on click, like adding debuffs?
Yeah, I think there's some fun stuff we could do with clicking. We haven't really explored it a lot. It's kind of one of those things where because you have to be there to be clicking, it's tough to put sort of interesting stuff on there, just because it requires you to be there, and so it means some of the interesting stuff in the game can't be used while you're not there, and it's an idle game and it should progress while you're not there. So I think there are some options that we could do to sort of handle that, that we are considering, and that you'll likely see in the new year.
Okay. This is kind of an interesting question. Poleth 1984 is asking whether or not we would scale the DLC for Celeste and Nayeli down to what the Force Grey ones cost.
We probably won't. I think when we put in the initial 3 DLCs, we were sort of feeling out sort of what kind of packages we could do, and I think we were a little bit more happy with how the Force Grey ones came out than the original 3, just in terms of costs and the chest scaling up in there. So we don't have any plans to do it retroactively, because I'm not sure what that would involve on Steam, because obviously people already have them. If they paid $30 for them and haven't claimed them yet,
I don't know that we even can on Steam.
I think we'd have
it would
to,
be a matter of removing them and then adding in a subsequent
but then people who bought them wouldn't have it. I think it'd just be a huge mess. So probably not. Sorry.
Yeah. SWAT Cats. Any chance of buying event chests with gems?
Probably not. No, I'm gonna say probably not.
Magenta Shirt. How about a platinum chest which contains an epic you haven't received, or a shiny gold upgrade for any non-shiny gold slot? So just another type of, like another chest tier.
Another type of chest. Cool idea. I don't know where those chests would come from. We wouldn't really want to. Those chests seem very, very powerful, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And so we'd want to be careful about how many of those type of things we gave out.
Okay.
But it's a cool idea to have like super special, limited time, awesome chests that like guarantee a really frickin' awesome thing.
Yeah,
We could put a code. Put a code down in the corner over here for it. I guess over here.
No, I think if you reach too far over here, I'm just.
I know, so I was like pointing. Over here.
Yeah.
Over here, guys.
Yeah.
No, it's over.
Have a merry sim roll.
Over there.
Yeah. Ipsos Custodes. Will the event achievements be the same next year? Will there be a point in doing them if you have the current achievements?
Yeah, so we haven't 100% figured out exactly how we're going to repeat events. But the idea would be if you've completed the event, or at least the idea with our other games is if you completed the event this year, you basically get to skip on to the new stuff. So we don't want you to necessarily redo everything. But with that said, this is a different game. It functions differently. So maybe, I don't know. It's hard to say. We haven't actually done the full design for next year's events yet.
Yeah, we got to get through 12 months.
Got to get through this year first. Just another 2 weeks to go.
Getting there. Alrighty, KCO 501. What about adding some tiered unique effects to items specific to each champion that unlock at different item levels? That's
a really cool idea. It's kind of something similar to, we've got legendary items in Crusaders that have unique effects on them. I could see doing something like that way down the road. I mean, that's really cool. That'd be a cool idea.
Okay, and let's see. Lord Theobald, can we unlock formations to be able to use different formations for each quest? Oh, I see. That would be interesting.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. Probably not. The formations are right now fixed to the campaign, though we do have the ability to put basically whatever formation we want on any adventure. We choose to keep it fixed to the campaign. But, you know, I never say never.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so this one is interesting because this question has come up enough times. Garawar, who's one of our community stalwarts, who's been around for quite a while and done a lot and does those guides on Reddit all the time.
Yes.
ETA on offline gold adjustment.
Those are great guides, by the way. Those are really, really awesome. Love to check those out and see what people are saying about the new champs after we roll them out. But the question, I would love to get around to this. It is a priority for us to try and make the offline gold more similar to the online gold. Not necessarily exactly the same and definitely not better, but more similar. I don't know exactly when that's going to happen because it's not actually on my plate to do that. I'm more of the designer, and my design is, yes, it should be closer, but I need to find an engineer with some free cycles to actually look into what's going on with offline gold. Okay. So I know it's not a very good answer, but
yeah, because usually when Dave's sitting there, he's like, I want to do that. With his like 1,000-yard stare and just like thinking about all the other things he's got to do. We got a list the size of a long list that we got to get through. Let's see. Uzao, are there plans to add multiple specializations to a champion, either adding more to old champions or new ones with multiple?
I think it'd be cool to, potentially when we add more upgrades, to have like a second specialization choice for champions, or maybe even like super branching ones. So like the first one you choose from 2, and then like a few hundred levels later you choose from 2 more. And
but those
I think that'd
two
be
are
really
based
cool.
On ending up with 6.
That'd be cool. But I don't know when we'll get around to that or anything like that. I think those are cool ideas, though.
Yeah, especially when just to go off on a bit of a tangent, looking at the characters that we have. Like we have Brunner in here, who we're based on the stats that are in one of the books. But I mean, Brunner at this point, at least certainly in the lore, would probably be a level 20, multi-class, crazy badass with 1,000,000 feats by now, right?
He did go and die, and then got resurrected, and then in a different body, and then he found his other. I don't know. It's very confusing sometimes about those guys. But yes, there are many, many options that they could have. Multi-classing would be something that would be cool to do down the road, but it has to fit in the character. Yeah. So. Yeah.
Like Ashara having druid spells.
Exactly.
Yeah, that would make sense. Yeah. Ashara Druid is not confirmed, by the way. So the Painting Frog.
Dylan just promised it.
Yeah. Any plans to add a further kind of items in game, like Legendary?
I think Legendary would be cool to add way down the road. I don't think it's something that we'll be seeing in the near future. It's a little bit too early in the game for that. Certainly when we added Legendary items into Crusaders, that was an end game kind of move. So right now I think we've still got a lot of stuff to explore with the sort of systems and design that we have now. But down the road, I'd love to see like Legendary items. I'd love to see them done in a really cool way where you got to like you have to like do a specific adventure or something to go out and earn them, and like it's really hard, and you have to use that champion, and there's lots of really cool sort of things we could do with them. Yeah. Okay. We're getting close to the end of the show. And we have another final raffle to do. We should do that now. Whenever Erica gets that rolling. But this would be the complete Force Grey. That is such a good DLC. Yeah. My God. Yeah. Justin's like, I wish you were buying it. I want that DLC. Yeah. So when that gets rolling, that's our final raffle of the day. It's rolling now. Yeah. Good luck to you. Goodbye, chat. That's there goes the chat window. Sorry if you had questions. That was a real trick. I didn't want to answer anymore. But yeah, that's the top tier DLC, and
Next week, the last stream of the year before Christmas will be the last time we give away one of those.
Such a good DLC. It's got great items for Jamila, Hitch, Calliope, who nobody should use anymore because Dadius is so good.
Tyrell,
Archon, who people can still use for a little bit. Because
Archon, people should use.
Archon. Archon gets a bad rap, man.
Yeah,
he's actually good.
It's a very, very good.
He just doesn't have a bond, or he does have a
DLC.
Bond. He doesn't have a. He can get everything. He should be good. He is good.
He's an absurdly good tank. It's just its tanking is.
Yeah, we'll probably rework that down the road. I think Arcan is actually probably due for a more substantial rework than other guys. I don't like how his tanking abilities work right now.
Yeah. So this is probably the last question. Fang Terror. I understand that you want the game to be playable idle, but would you be open to some kind of mechanic that makes boss fights go faster with formation changes, cycling damage dealers through buffed formation slot, etc.?
So this was something that kind of existed before we made Ultimates based off of party DPS, where you would sort of cycle your each champion into a DPS slot and use their ultimate. We didn't really like that because it felt a little bit too manual. It was one of those things similar to like the buffs, using gold find buffs before opening chests, where like we don't want to make it like kind of tedious to be optimal. With that said, we do have, I also mentioned we have some sort of cool ideas for boss mechanics, and some of those ideas could potentially be similar to what you're talking about here. But yeah, nothing really specific to say about those yet.
That's a good note to end on.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just before 3. It's 5:02, and that's what we have for today. So thank you to Justin for taking time this afternoon to join us on stream this week. The last one he's going to be on this year, but also probably anytime soon. And of course, thanks to Wizards of the Coast for hosting us. It is, as always, a privilege and an honor to be able to host our stream here. I'm not sure who ended up winning the raffle. Oh, it's still going. It's still going. Somebody's saying I haven't beat 150 yet. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna get there. I'll post a screenshot on the Twitter.
Speaking of Garwar, congratulations, buddy.
Oh, did Garwar get it?
Yeah.
Congrats, Garwar. Yeah.
So rigged.
Yeah. Yeah. So not rigged. The Moobot. It was the Moobot. Anyways, yes, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week, same time, same channel, for the final stream of 2017. I believe Destiny and Doom is done, so I don't think that that's coming up next. I'm not sure what's coming up next, actually.
I know what's coming up next. Dylan's going to go home and collapse because he is a superhuman for coming in and doing this stream while he's super sick. So big shout out to Dylan.
Yeah, thank you. And soon you'll get to be super sick now.
Yay!
Anyways, thanks for watching, everybody, and have a happy Simmerl.
Bye.